Welcome to the Hall of Fame podcast, your local source for the 2024 Philly season, where you get hot takes from even bigger idiots than you find on local media. And now your idiots, I mean hosts, Chris Buzzy Lahiff, Jeremy J.V. Vroman, and Keith Darth Pooh Newman.
Welcome to the episode number 11 of the Hall of Fame Club podcast. Today we ask if you're enjoying the season, who's your April MVP, and who's giving you more heartburn, Casty or the pen? And we will also continue this week with our Citizens Bank Park moments from the last 20 years on this, the last day of April the 30th, 2024. Gentlemen, how you doing today? Hi, Michael Dunbar.
You were definitely going April 31st.
Yeah. Yep, messed that one up a little bit.
Never. It was beautiful. It was gorgeous.
It's expected.
How you guys feeling? You enjoying baseball?
Sure am.
Yeah. What's
Dude, it's been fun. It's been fun. Little craziness, crazy plays. What is it? Taiwan catching one behind the back. Yeah. Stott getting stunned by 67 miles an hour pitch. Just fun little stuff for the season.
Well, here's a little fun fact that I picked up today. This is the winningest April since 1900.
Were we even the Phillies?
Yeah. As I mean, they weren't the Phillies, right? No one watched the team before the Athletics left the town. There was 4 people who watched the Phillies before the Athletics left.
One of them was your dad.
One of them,
or at least that's the way it's been told to me. No, I think my dad was both. He as a kid he grew up watching the Athletics, and then he by force of hand, they're gone, so now he's got to be a Phillies fan if he wants to watch baseball. Any big news that's happened in the last few hours in baseball that we need to just kind of bring up that might be interesting?
Well, I know it's not breaking news, and I know it's going to come to a shock, but Mike Trout got hurt today or yesterday. I know it's a shock. I know.
Yeah.
He's never on the IL.
Never.
Right.
Just
they're talking surgery. They're talking surgery on his meniscus, right?
Yeah, he tore his meniscus.
Yeah.
You ever?
I hope he
tore.
I hope he tore it on that wild pitch error.
You ever
I'm
think
a
it's
bitter
just
Nancy.
because he's on the Angels? You know how when you got a job you don't like, you call in sick a lot. I wonder if that's it. Oh, my meniscus. Oh, my knees.
Something like this can be verified with a doctor. I don't know if he's really trying to skip out on work on this one. You use something like a hamstring for you don't want to work.
If you got the right doctor in your pocket, anything's possible.
No.
Hopefully it's not Michael Jackson's doctor.
Everyone knows.
Listen, there goes Fuzzy. Always go taking it to the next level.
Everyone knows a Chris in their life. No, but you're right. You claim hamstring, right? That's what you do. Good evening, Steve-O. It's good to see you as always. Go Braves. They are currently the number 1 team in MLB. Congratulations, sir.
And their football team drafted Michael Penix Jr.
We are second in the NL overall, which is really nice. So once again, if the season ended today, we would be in, gentlemen. Right? Congratulations. Successful April. Are you having fun though? and we're going to get to that probably. But there's a bigger burning question. We had a complete meltdown last night. Bullpen was a major, major problem. Sir Anthony takes the L, blows the lead. Are you concerned about the bullpen, gentlemen?
I don't know if I'm concerned. I'm annoyed. It feels like everyone else is coming around, and it's just Sir Anthony.
I'm a little shaky on Soto. Still,
I think I've said it from the beginning that their bullpen scares me. It absolutely scares me right now. There's no consistency to it.
Well, here's why I'm shaky on those two consistently, right? Those two gentlemen consistently are going, they're velo hunters, right? That's all they're going for. They're just going for the nastiest stuff they can sling, and they don't care if it includes pulling their arm out of their socket. There's just
no, absolutely not. It's I can give it to you with Sir Anthony. I'm not going to give it to you with Soto. His ERA is coming down, and he's having good outings.
Oh, yeah. Yes. When he sticks to his sweeper and he sticks to the magic, when he does all of that stuff, you are absolutely 1,000% correct. When he goes into the more sophisticated a pitcher is, right, with the pitch, that's how they become successful, right? You can keep throwing all you want, as hard as you want, but that's not going to make guys, there's going to be guys who can just connect with 100 miles an hour if it's in the wrong spot. So yeah. I just get worried with that. That's what I think. I think they're velo hunters, and I do agree with you. Soto is calming down, and I love watching him throw that sweeper. It's devastating.
I'm going to give you the scenario, and you can both do it. You're winning 4-1. There's 2 outs. Bases are loaded. You have Soto in there facing the left-hander. It's a 3-2 pitch. Now, flip side, you're losing 4-1. Bases are loaded. There's 2 outs. You know the count's not 3-2 because Nick Castellanos doesn't get the 3-2 counts. It's 0-2. What do you feel? Where do you feel safer at? This is a big debate that we had today, and it got heated. And where do you feel safer at?
Who's pitching?
Where do you feel more?
Who's pitching against Casty? Is it somebody that throws fastballs, or is it a guy that throws sinkers? Because that changes my opinion. If you're going to throw Casty fastballs, I'm going to take him over this bullpen every day. If it's a guy that's throwing sliders and sinkers and curveballs, which he has not hit a single one all year, he has a 0 batting average against curveballs. Then
you already know the answer. The manager's throwing in a guy who throws sliders all the time.
Really? Because the Pirates didn't and gave him his only walk-off hit of the year.
I'm giving it to you. I'm giving it to you, Fuzzy. He gets into the 0-2, 1-2 count like more than half. I would be willing to say half.
Never 3-2.
No. Oh no. I agree with that.
Him and Trey Turner, like I feel like it's always 0-2 and I sneeze. Like what?
Right. We came back from a commercial break and they're literally like, by the way, that happened so quickly. We're in the 1-2. We're in the 1-2 count, ladies and gentlemen.
They didn't just start it.
Yeah. I give it to you. I give it to you in a heartbeat. But if you're talking about its bases loaded, do I feel more comfortable with the loss of the bullpen call or to Nick? I'm going to give it. I feel more comfortable with Nick because he has a much better batting average with runners in scoring position this season. That's what he's
9. He's batting 173. He's batting 173.
Right. But when you're in April, you have to start looking at things like splits because 173 doesn't tell a real story. So with runners in scoring position, my man's hitting like a 250. So yes, like it's all situational. You gave the situation, but there's greater nuances to it.
But he's left 48 people on base.
Yeah, it's devastating. Thankfully,
48.
Thankfully, it It hasn't been in a situation where it's cost us the game yet.
It cost us the game last night.
I wouldn't.
You had that pitcher on the ropes in the first inning, 3-0. Everybody's hitting the ball.
I know. Everyone's eating. I know.
The only ones not eating are Castellanos and Sir Anthony.
I know.
But you can 100%. But you can take Sir Anthony out of the bullpen rotation. You can do that. For some reason or another, you can at the 9 spot.
You can't hide $20 million and you can't put him in the 9 spot. What are you trying to you're trying to sabotage Schwarber now?
But we argued this in the beginning of the season with Castellanos. We wanted production out of the 9 spot. Well, now we're getting production out of the 9 spot, but we're not getting production out of the 6 spot. So can you justify not dropping him because he makes $20 million? I don't give a shit if he makes $38 million.
Because realistically,
put him down.
He already is in the 9 spot, kind of in a weird hole that he's in.
If Thompson is a good manager, he'll figure out to put someone in the 8th spot and with Schwarber in the 1 spot, and that's how you protect Castellanos. Because you don't want to. Because here's the thing: you're going to have to throw Castellanos fastballs because you don't want that 8-hitter to hit. You're going to have to throw the 8-hitter fastballs. You're going to have to throw the 1-hitter fastballs.
Well, everyone's
everyone's
8,
9, and 1.
Nasty outside down and away trash that he loves fishing for too. So don't get me wrong, enough catchers have already seen what he's going for and they got him on the hook. It's all over him. So he's in a really bad spot right now where they're just going to keep attacking him. He's down, they're going to kick him. But if you're talking about runners in scoring position, I'm still taking Casty on the season. Yeah, I know. I'm a sucker. I'm a sucker for just, only 23 games of baseball. And that's all we have. We have 23 games. He's been at 130 at bats. It's not really realistic for any of us to say he needs to go there and Walker needs to go sit down and this and that. If we're giving Soto a chance for him to stabilize, Walker had a really nice game until
he didn't.
He got in trouble.
And I worry that's what you're going to see. But the thing with Casty, for me, is watching him swing, and he looks so bad that there's something has to be wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's physical, to be honest. Maybe he does need to go get his eyes checked, get something checked. Is he hurt? Something like he doesn't even look good on these pitches outside.
Well, he's a Miami boy.
I can handle a guy hitting 173 if it's just bad luck and he's line driving it at infielders or hard, long warning track stuff,
Right.
That's a little more that means he's on it and that's going to come around. I have no faith that Casty's coming around.
Well, I do know he's from Miami. My man likes warm weather. If you take a look at a little more splits at day games, he's hitting a 362 on base percentage. He's got a 231 day average, not great, but he's getting more walks during the day. He's got 8 walks during the day, 2 walks at night. Do you think he actually is having a hard time seeing the ball? You brought that up. Chris, do we need to get glasses, contacts? Has he got an issue here?
That's Castellanos at bat.
Yeah, he's having a hard time seeing the ball at night.
That's not an excuse. You're a Major League Baseball player. Get LASIK.
I 100% agree. Does he know he needs it? And we're looking at he's got 8 walks for 39 at bats versus 2 walks for 67 at bats. That's insane. There's definitely something happening, and it looks like it's happening at night. Days are warmer.
Don't play him. Then don't play him.
Don't play him on night games?
No.
No. Right. And that's what, we're all talking about this is something and we need to fix. JV, if you're coaching him, if you're K Long, what are you doing? What are you saying? If you're Kevin Long, the Phillies batting coach, what are you saying to Nick Castellanos that A, he doesn't already know, and B, that can actually really help motivate him to do well? And let's take this one seriously. What can K Long, how can he coach him a little bit better?
I don't think it comes up to K Long. I think it's got to come from Topper. Topper has to send a message that if you're not going to produce on this team, you're going to sit regardless of how much money you pay. Maybe you sit him for a game or two. Like, hey, he just needs to take a break. Go just spend a couple extra days in the cages and hitting. And, we got these great, crazy pitching machines that are going to throw him sliders all day long.
Yeah.
Just throw him sliders until he starts hitting them.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
At some point, you got to take the bat out of his hands. You got to say, okay, you're not doing your job. You're not doing what we pay you to do. So we're going to send you to the bench because they can't send him down to the minors. Put him on the bench. Maybe he fakes an injury so he can spend 10 days on the IL and then go down and get some rehab and hit against these kids. Something that he needs to do something to break his routine. Whatever he's doing now, the routine is not working. So they need to change it up.
So you think he needs a dose of confidence?
Yeah. Take some rehab. Figure out a way to take some rehab.
Fuzz, what do you think? You think he should knock around a few youngins to get his confidence back up, or you pay him too much money for him to be going down to the minors to be diddling around with kids? Wait, no, that sounded way wrong.
No.
Yeah.
And we're canceled. Thank you for joining our last episode of the Hall of Fame Club podcast.
So do you let him do that? Is that the move?
Well, you're not going to send him down unless he's hurt. And you're
Right.
going to send him down for a rehab assignment. So it's got to be something. Like, we're 30 games into the season. Like, I know you think it's too early. I don't. Like, 30 games and you're batting 173. And here's the thing. He did it 2 years ago where he struggled. Last year he came out on fire. This year he's struggling. I don't know if they can afford to go another month of him struggling.
Oh,
bring his kid back. Do something.
Yeah, we need
like,
Liam.
Bring annoying ass Liam back. Like, let him behind the home plate, do something. I don't know what it is. But we can't keep throwing him out in the sixth spot. It's a guaranteed out or a guaranteed double play.
Well, he hasn't had a good back-to-back year technically since 17, 18. So, that's pre-pandemic days. I don't even remember what 17, 18 looked like, to be honest with you. I couldn't remember. But, he's generally an up-down dude, and this is something that we can see in his overall run production, his RBIs, his home runs. He just, for some reason, can't ever hit more than 2 years in a row. Is this his down year? God, I hope not. You can't unload this guy. He costs too much. Although, with JV, who did I say would pick him up? They would be Tampa Bay? Tampa Bay would take him in a heartbeat.
Yeah, but you're still going to eat some of that money. So at that point, they're not going to just...
How much? Realistically.
If you're going to try to trade off a guy that's struggling, you're going to take at least 25 to 50% of the contract.
I was going to say you were going to pay. No, okay. Yeah, I was going to say we're going to eat 30%, I think.
Yeah.
But it allows you to do something before the trade deadline. I mean, to do something crazy. The only team that I know knows how to make real crazy moves before the trade deadline is the Braves. The Braves are the Eagles of MLB. So
maybe
you don't think Kevin Long can fix this, Chris?
I don't know.
That's what he gets paid to do.
Yeah, but if he's not willing to do the work, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and
he's got to be willing to put the work in.
listen, the mechanics look okay. I think it's his eyes. I don't think he's really like targeting. He's swinging absolutely correctly. He's going after crap, but like the swing when it works. I think there is definitely it's a visual. I think there's a visual thing going on here.
He's got 2 extra base hits. The swing isn't working.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. I think the swing is not the issue. I think it's the timing because of the visual. Let's not. You don't want to change too many variables. You don't want to go like, move in with your wrist and do this and blah, blah, blah. You don't want to over inundate. Maybe he's Ricky Vaughn and he needs a pair of freaking glasses.
I don't know. Or maybe this is the start of the end, or maybe it's the end. He's coming down on the backside of his career. I mean, he's 32 years old, which in baseball terms, you're starting to get up there. He's got 10 years in. That's a veteran. That he's already outlasted the average MLB career of like 3 or 4 seasons or something like that. So, maybe it is the start of the down for him. Or maybe he needs, I don't know, maybe he needs a change of scenery. Maybe that'll send him down to Lehigh. That'll be his change of scenery.
How do you get that to happen, right? Like without it looking ridiculous that you're sending your one of your $200 million or whatever, $100 million contract down to the minors.
It's commitment. It's commitment to winning. Like, dude, you're not doing anything right now. You need to go on IL. You need to figure out what's wrong with you. Plain and simple. You can't do it, then you can't be a Philly.
Right.
No, I agree. I agree with Jeremy. Jeremy played it best. Go IL with a sore X so and so. Do a 5-game rehab stint, maybe 3-game. Play with Lehigh, see how it goes. Run it out. There are positives though, right? This team is gorgeous. I mean, I know we just.
I think Bohm's hitting okay. I don't know.
God,
I don't know that he's seeing that baseball as a beach ball. I'm sorry. Like
I'm so pleased with just everything about Bohm. He's a RBI leader in the league, right? What else has he got? He's a batting average leader. Like he's on fire. I think he is. Is he on base percentage leader too?
It's probably up there. Well, it's 439, so it's got to be up there.
It's got to be up there. Okay, yeah, 439 is ridiculous. Yes, once again, it's April. I know it's only 23 games we're looking at.
So who's your MVP for April? You staying with Bohm or are you going Ranger?
Whoa.
Oh
yeah.
Boy.
You're a math teacher, right?
Yeah.
What's 19 plus 11?
30.
That's their record. Not 23 games.
It was 23 over 28 days. It was like like the tightest schedule they've done. 20. I was talking about the 23 over 28. Sorry.
Well, never mind. Disregard.
Sorry.
My idiotism. I think I just made up a word.
Listen.
Oh, it's Ranger Suarez. I'm sorry. As much as Bohm's having a great year, like it's Ranger Suarez. If he's the MVP. If he's not the pitcher of the month for April, MLB's disgusting. And I don't know about you, and I know he's going to make the play the first, but are you like, will you just throw the goddamn ball? Like when he's all smooth, like, dude, just throw it. Get the out and throw it.
His throw to first is as smooth as Turner's slide into home.
Listen, he's looking ferocious out there, but in the calmest, slothiest way possible, right?
I haven't seen him break a sweat.
No. If he's sweating, it's because it's legitimately the field is hot. Like he's got the sun on him, right? He's perspiring because of the temperature and not because of any. And you see guys who really sweat under pressure. Like Sir Anthony will completely break out buckets if he is in a tight situation. No, Ranger inspects the ball for dents before he throws it over to first on hit back to the mounds. What?
Yeah, he's ridiculous right now. Like that's who's fun to watch because he's just so smooth about it, and like I try to get my 8-year-olds to play that way. Just play with just silent confidence. Like just make the plays that you know how to make, and that's what he's doing. He knows how to make the pitches. He knows how to make that throw to first. You know, if it takes him a week to make that throw to first, as long as he still gets the guy, who cares?
Yeah. One of the concerns I had about Bohm was, if you notice, when he put him over at first, he really struggled with that. I hope to
stop with the Bohm experiment at first. Leave him at
I hope to
third.
never see it again.
If you're going to give Bryce a day off, just use Cody.
Cody.
I know he's a left-handed bat. No, he does not look comfortable over there.
Mm-mm. No, not at all. He is now a tried and true. We can't even call him the daycare. He's not even on the. The man's going to be 28 at the end of the year. He'll be almost. He's closer to the 30 than he is to being a kid. He's developed and matured as a very good third baseman. Very good. Defensively. Stop moving him. Don't. He's not to be. That's his position. You better go ask the man, because he's up for arbitration soon, and if he's comfortable here, you want to make him felt like he's being listened to, and you're not just haphazardly throwing him around. Start treating him like the royalty that he may become here in this town.
He actually won his arbitration this year.
Yeah, so right, but he's gonna be up for the big contract in 2, right?
He's unrestricted in 2027.
Yeah, 3. I'm sorry, 3 years.
Yeah, so it's all whatchamacallit now. It's all arbitration. They're not going to hand out a deal like they did to what's his name? Kingery. Like, nah, dude. You're getting 1-year deals, then we're going to sign you.
And they're pretty much going to win their arbitrations most of the time. I don't, if the season ended today, I don't know if Stott would win his arbitration, but there's.
I mean, it was, he filed for $4 million. The team filed for 3.4. At the end of this year, he's probably going to file for 5 or 6. The team will be 500,000, 600,000 below that number. I think the team's going to walk into it knowing that he's going to win the arbitration. So they're not going to insult them with a really low number. Just come in there, and he may end up getting a 3 to 4 year deal at the end of this year, the way he's playing. Just give him, $5 million a year for the next 3 years.
They're not going to give him. Wait, are you talking about Stott?
No, Bohm.
No, Bohm.
Boom's not getting a deal till 2026. There's no reason to.
No, they're going to keep inching it up $500,000 a year, and they'll let that fly. But you also want to start respecting him a little bit more in terms of, and I'm not talking about the money. I'm talking about, like I said, where do you put him in? Not in the lineup, but in the field, right? Don't make it feel like he's some sort of interchangeable player. He's a fine crafted third baseman. That's what you settled on. Stick with it.
Yeah, that's what you brought him up for. You spent all that money in the minors with him. So
yeah, I mean,
keep him there.
That also being said, what do you do? What do you do with Stott? Stott's not your biggest problem, but I think he's having a difficult time running out those pitches like he used to be able to. He had a lot more patience last year. I'm just seeing him a little more antsy. He gets to the 0-2 just as quick, but I think the strikeout or the ground out happens quicker. He doesn't get an 8, 9, 10, sometimes 12 pitch count at bat. You seeing that, or is it out in my head?
Do you think he worked with Kevin Long in the offseason to be more aggressive, and that's why you're not seeing him like he's pushing? Whereas before it was just stay patient and wait for your pitch. Now it's a go get your pitch when you see it, and he's just not seeing it as well as he did.
That'd be crazy for someone to say try and change up his approach. His approach was one of a veteran's approach. He was really even tempered. I would see, I don't know. I would just see some amazing at bats. He would just dog pitchers' arms. Chris, am I missing it?
Nah, I mean, honestly, right now it's, Jorge Polanco from Seattle is seeing the most pitches per plate appearance. It's Polanco, Trout, Gallo, India, Noda, Happ, Rhys Hoskins. Brandon Marsh is number 16.
Wow. And Stott's not up there. He was up there last year.
He's always showing off pitches, yeah.
Yeah, he's like I said, I think he's responsible for at least 4 Tommy John surgeries.
So aggravating. It really is.
Well, the conversation is aggravating.
No. Like as a pitcher.
Oh yeah, just to have a guy just keep like fouling them off on you.
I got it.
What?
He's got it.
He's got it.
Wait. Oh,
are you kidding me?
Sixers.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. We're in the middle of people who are listening in. We're in the middle of.
I apologize.
Sixers playoff. I have it kind of minimized over to my right here, and I'm trying not to watch it. What just happened that I need to know? Wow, he threw me off. Was that a good thing? That's a good thing happened?
Yeah, I think
pick up the tongue.
You're killing me. You're killing me, Smalls.
He literally.
Who's he?
Hold on.
Let's take it one step at a time.
Hold on. Look where he shoots this.
Maxey to tie the game. Tyrese Maxey delivers.
Oh my God.
He was on the end. That's why I was in shock.
That was like a high school shot.
Yeah.
That's why I was in shock. Like I couldn't get anything out because I couldn't believe it. I get so frustrated. Son of a bitch.
I kind of wanted to bring up tonight's game. Tonight's game's kind of like a pitcher's duel, isn't it? We got Turnbull coming up tonight. Hold
on. Let's hold on. Before we get into tonight's game, let's talk about the Reds and the Padres series. They just dismantled. I mean, listen, the Reds are a good team. 2-2 series split. LA De La Cruz, the next best thing in baseball. But they went right into San Diego and just swept them right out. I did not see that coming. I'm sorry.
No, San Diego's a very good team. I did not
see good players.
Yep, I did not see a sweep.
They have good pitchers. That one pitcher, he gave up no home runs to left-handed hitters. He gave up the 3 to the Phillies in 2/3 of an inning.
Yeah.
Well, we all wanted Machado at one point. We
wanted them both.
We wanted Machado, but if I rewind time and I say at the exact, would you want Harper or Machado? Most people were saying they wanted Machado in this city. It was just, most people did not want to see Bryce Harper here. They think, they thought.
They wanted Machado because he played a good third base. He's a Gold Glove winner, and he's a 300 hitter. He was consistent.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not hating on it.
I think part of the anti-Harper was the fact that he was a national. I think some people just have that. They don't care how great they are. If they play for a rival team, they don't want them at all. You could go and ask them for, back in the day, anybody off the Cowboys. Would you have taken Troy Aikman in the 90s? In late 80s and 90s, people are going to yell at you and say, no way, he was a Cowboy. But he was one of the best quarterbacks in the league at the time. Crosby. I know a lot of Flyer fans that'll fight you to this day to say they wouldn't have taken Crosby in his prime when he was lighting it up. Why not? He was one of the best hockey players in the league. People will not. I know people that said they didn't want Chipper Jones to play for the Phillies. I'm like, listen, I hate the Braves as much as the next guy. I'm a Pirates fan, and I've seen the Braves just destroy my heart twice with
Who?
Sid Bream and 19 innings.
Larry.
You're telling me you wouldn't have loved to seen him wearing pinstripes with the Phillies logo, the red pinstripes?
Meh.
Meh. Why would I want a 300 hitter who, was a Gold Glover at third?
Yeah. Right.
Meh. Dude, who do we
So
have?
I think that was part of the Harper hate of why they wanted Machado over him. He was a Baltimore guy. Like he was, and went to San Diego. He wasn't a rival, really.
No.
So.
No, and everyone looks at Baltimore as a fond, close AL neighbor to Philly, because they're not Jersey or New York or whatever. It's one of those. I don't know. We get along with Baltimore just fine. Baltimore is pretty much Philly without a Liberty Bell.
Yeah.
Did we discuss
Well, now let's get to tonight's game. We got Turnbull.
Did we discuss Walker's debut? Did we talk about that one? Did we really touch base, or do we know? Hey, listen, he says he's still sore. Do you send him back down, or do you get him another outing? I say get him another one. Just let him take this rest and see how he feels.
If he's still sore, stretch him out 6-7 days before you throw him again.
The only problem is that keeps you from bringing a guy up quickly. If he tells you the day before his start, he's got a problem. So, you can't activate, you can activate him in reverse, but you've already lost that time with the guy you want to be there.
But that's why you're keeping Sanchez around.
Yeah.
And all these guys, you're going to keep him around until you see what he is. And see how Walker is. So
yeah, okay. So I think we're on the same page with Walker. You just gotta watch it. You just gotta watch him. Tonight's game, you've got a hell of it. You've got a hell of a post up. What do you got there for us, Chris?
Say that again. I'm sorry.
About tonight's game, hell of a post up. What do you got?
Oh, you figure you got Anderson, pretty decent pitcher. Is he gonna? Trying to pull it up. He's facing Schwarber now, so
yeah.
Trying to think. I can't believe we lost to them.
According to his last 7, Tyler Anderson's got a 1.78 ERA over his last 7 games pitched. So
sure does. He's got 21 strikeouts, and he's got a lot of walks in 30 innings.
Take that down.
Can't hear it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Take it down.
He's got a lot of walks in 30 innings. I'll say that.
Well, he's done a lot of work in those innings, so he has a nice ERA, but he has done a lot. Yeah. He's done a lot. He's done a lot of throwing.
But here's my thing: he's a good pitcher. Obviously, he's a 1.78 ERA on a really bad Angels team, but he's got 30 in third innings pitched, 19 hits and 13 walks. That's a lot of base runners in 32 innings.
His team has got him out of it, right? Or he's gotten ground balls at the right time. So there's definitely, like I said, I looked at his stats earlier today. I'm like, wow, how did he get to a 1.73? And sure enough, he has thrown a lot for his starts. not deep, but just a lot. So, that means he might coming up against a better team like the Phillies, who can, once they start hitting, and those guys start, and they will, except for Casty, they'll eat. And I think even he can possibly eat against someone who looks like they have an amazing ERA right now. But I think everyone can possibly get a piece of him if they get this. Listen, the Phillies have capitalized. They get the first team this year to score a run off a walked-in batter. I mean, there's been a lot of Pate patience going on. And I, for one, that's one of the things that I've enjoyed the most about the season is watching our base running is terrible, but our plate patience is amazing. They just get a little antsy once they get on base.
Yeah. What was it? His Turner's on base stealing streak
Over
41.
And that's nice. And listen, he's another one. He's another league leader, I think, on RBIs. I think he's sitting up there with like almost 50 RBIs. I might have made that up. Maybe I'm talking about hits.
They don't have 50 RBIs.
No, hits. Sorry, hits. I think he's got close to like 45 hits or something. It's insane. Like Mookie is sitting with 46 or 47.
Yeah.
So to me, Turner has obviously got command of the plate right now. I think he's doing very well. One of the big highlights for me, I think he's getting kind of overshadowed by Bohm's bat a little bit, but Turner is doing very, very well.
Yeah,
that might be where he thrives, is being outshone by somebody. And he struggled, and Harper was tearing the ball off when tearing the cover. Casty was tearing the cover off the ball last year. So when they get, I think they were putting too much pressure on him at the beginning of the year, and he was finally able to relax once he got that standing O. Realized he didn't have to be the guy and do it all himself. And I think this year, seeing a guy like Bohm be able to lead that team and Harper coming up in big moments, it's like I can sit back, I can just focus on what I need to do and get myself in the right position for these guys behind me as well.
Have you guys?
With Trey Turner, the only thing that I'd like to see him do is cut down on his errors.
Yeah, it's kind of frustrating to see that because he's so damn athletic. And when you see him kind of fumble with it and bumble with it, it drives me nuts. And I'm going to reiterate this. I think Bryce Harper is one hell of a first baseman. And I don't say that just lightly that he's, because he's filling a spot or whatever, because that's his position now. But he's a really good first baseman. I've been able to watch a little bit of extra of this, games around the leagues, and I kind of take it for granted that my man tries to be the best at everything he does in baseball, and that doesn't exclude what he's doing right now at first base.
Right. He's an amazing athlete, and he probably could have played a lot of different sports. Lucky for us, he played baseball where we could see him really shine. He just, and like you said, he takes his job seriously. Like he might be out there having fun with the Fanatic shoes and, all the Fanatic stuff and, pandering to Philadelphia, if you want to call it that. But, when it comes to putting in the work to be a player, he's definitely doing the work. So,
yeah.
So, all right, fellas, you ready to move on to something a little more lighthearted?
I would love to.
All right. So, as we've been doing since the beginning of the year, and we notated, it's 20 years of Citizens Bank Park. So we've been having a little fun picking out some of our favorite moments, going from Howard home runs to guys running into fences to position players winning games. So we're going to continue that this week. What do you guys have? Keith, what do you got for us this week?
Well,
Chris, did you load them up?
Sure did.
Yep.
So, funny story about this one. You know, we were over in the Wellington, and you know, Keith was in the kitchen making dinner. I don't even know what the hell he was doing.
I rarely walk away during like a Phillies game. I will say this: my wife is awesome. She'll like she knows. She's like, oh, you need another beverage while I'm watching it. She knows I don't really want to like. I know it can be boring. You can walk away from. I just don't like walking away from it because I always feel like if I walk away from it, something huge is gonna happen.
Like this.
Like this.
And a drive in the left field that is well hit. Ryan Braun looks up. Grand slam home run for Victorino.
I love that Myers was right out there. Right out there.
He was on base.
Oh yeah.
Love it. He was just right. He's like, dude, I thought he wanted to give him a big old hug right there. Like, just, you know what I mean? Like, he was ready about to like manhandle him. That was on my birthday. You yelled a grand slam. I said, stop lying. And everyone else is yelling. I thought you were all punking me. I thought like just to get me to come running out. And sure enough, it was real. That one was just amazing.
I just listen. I live in the Woodhaven Road area. I just got the alert. There's a report of a person armed with a guitar making threats. Swear to God.
Watch out. Mean Streets of Parkwood.
I'll go get Nolan off the streets.
So
that you remember that you guys definitely remember that moment. You were at my house. But it was my birthday. That was dope. And it was real.
yeah. And then this one's mine. It's actually the same season, a couple weeks earlier, and I got because it was a nationally televised game, so I was able to find the one with the radio call.
The pitch to Zimmerman. Ground ball up the middle. J-Roll dives to Utley. One relay. The Phillies are the National League Eastern Division champions on a spectacular double play. Turn J-Roll to Utley to Howard. What a play by J-Roll. Oh, my word.
To Utley, to Howard. What a wonderful play.
I was in my car. Me and Melissa were in the car. We're going to dinner for our birthday, and we're like, yes, they're in the playoffs.
Yeah, that was really.
I miss guys like Harry and Vin Scully and Harry Harry Carey. That just the way they described games and told stories through the game.
You were a hot dog. Would you eat yourself?
Hi, if you were a hot dog, would you eat yourself? I sure would.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
do. Well, there's a lot to say for guys like LA, for Larry Anderson, who is just really, he's got that, I don't care about baseball, but I'm watching the game. It's the best thing I've ever seen. You know, he's just, you know.
He's drunk.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, I think that's defamatory. No, I think he's a wonderful man. I can't say nice enough things about him. He threw some things to my kids during a 5-hour rain delay, and we stayed in the ballpark all day, and it was great. But you know, it's one of those things where I miss those big voices that you're talking about, but there's something about those gruff voices that we still kind of have.
Yeah. So mine was a little bit of history making in it. It was kind of fun. It was the first time anybody's hit 2 home runs in extra innings And one of them was to win the game for the team. The other tied the game and then won the game. John Mayberry Jr., one of the forgotten Phillies. He in the 10th inning, he hits a solo shot to tie the game at 3-3. And then in the 11th, he goes grand slam to walk it off.
Here we go.
So
Hits it in the air to left center field. On the run is Coughlin. Out toward the track it is. Gone! Mayberry just tied this ball game up here in the bottom of the 10th inning.
We knew it was a double, but to think that thing was going to lead, that's amazing. That thing just kept going and going, and he finally got into the seat.
Line drive toward left field. Pierre's on his way. It is gone! Wow! A grand slam walk-off home run for John Mayberry. How about that to finish up a ball game? Mayberry's homered for the second time, and the Phillies can celebrate. 7-3, the final score at 11.
Wild.
Man, those were some dark days, but we had some really cool moments.
yeah, I mean that was the middle of June, and that stadium was absolutely packed, going nuts for that in the 11th inning. Like it's just
People hung around. Well, when you
Yeah.
hang around for a home run tying game, when the game's that close anyway, and you stick around for that, yeah, you gotta.
yeah.
But just to see,
All right.
just to see a grand slam. So let's see. Mine was a grand
Hold on.
slam. Yours was a grand
Yeah.
slam.
Mine was a grand slam a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
All right. Can I play this clip? It's 2 minutes long. And I'll cut it out when it's over with.
You could do that, sir.
For anybody who didn't watch the game, I think on Sunday, for the love of God, John Kruk is hands down the best color commentator in the history of Major League Baseball.
Did I ever tell you about playing the prison team and when I was playing in winter ball?
In Mexico?
We had an exhibition game every year against a prison team at the prison.
Yeah.
Well, they let me lead off just to get me out of the way,
Swing and a miss.
spring training, let a guy lead off just so he can get another at bat or whatever. It's a strikeout for Kyle. But so I go up there to bat. The catcher doesn't have any catcher's gear on. And I said, he spoke English too. I said, you don't have no gear? He goes,
This is just phenomenal.
No mask, no nothing. I'm like, well, I'm not going to hit with this dude ain't got no catcher's gear on. Right? So we get an extra pair of our catcher had an extra set of gear, so he let him use it. So then I asked him,
Did he keep it?
No.
Oh.
But I asked him, I said,
Tom with the important questions.
Hard. That's what reminded me of. He
Right.
hit through hard, this pitcher. So I asked the catcher, I said, what did he do? He's out. He found his girlfriend cheating. He burned up her car with her and her boyfriend in it. I'm like, oh my gosh. I said,
Wild. He's got the wildest stories ever so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the one 2 years ago? McCarty was asking him a question about like the difference between a changeup and like a curveball. He's like, hold on, let me finish my grapes. What? Like,
Yeah, he couldn't care less. Now, I love the fact that he's going on road trips now and he's traveling with the team, and that's great. I know he was only doing home games for a little while he was,
I think
medically
his daughter
treated.
was that, and his daughter was in college, and he was going to her volleyball games.
And he was I know he's being treated for a couple of things for his health there for a little while. So I think it was just better for him to not travel, but he seems to be super healthy now. I love seeing him on the road again, mainly because it prevents me from having to see Ruben as much.
Oh.
But we still get him from time to time.
Yeah. And the Sixers won.
And the Sixers won. I have it playing right here. I didn't want to take that away from you. In order for me to really, really care about the series again, they have to force a game 7. I mean, that's all there is to it. I have to force that.
Yeah.
I mean, If they don't, it's kind of over. So,
But I don't. To make me care, I has to go to a
No.
game 7. I really couldn't care less right now. Although Maxie's the man.
Maxie is my dude.
Yeah, he's the man. Gentlemen, I'm gonna get to myself to this game. Do we have a score of the game right now?
It's 0-0.
0-0. So
Who's winning?
The Cubs.
the Bears.
Or the Bears.
Come on.
The-
I
Jeez,
know.
Set you up for it.
You did. And I tried to get it out. And I couldn't.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot.
and we got the Phillies coming up right now. So I think this is perfect to leave it here, just because the boys are on. But
For the record,
we have
Boom
a
had
record.
another hit.
Of course he did.
He had another hit today. Jesus Christ.
He's
He
the
had
man.
3 hits before the game started.
He's batting 370.
Yeah, I don't know.
I had
what
to look
tell
at it.
you.
I was like, that doesn't say 370. My glasses aren't working. No, it says 370. His on base is 444. That's bananas. Go. You know what? I'm so glad.
Get
He
this.
was
This was a real
officially
stat.
named Player of the week.
This was a real stat I heard like a week ago. This is real. Bohm could go for the next 100+ at bats and strike out every single one of them, and he would still have a better OPS than Nick Castellanos.
Ugh. Ugh.
So let me say this.
Oh my-
Let me say this one more time, so people understand. The next 100+, I think it was like 112 or 107 or something weird like that. Next 100 and whatever plus at bats, Bohm could strike out every single one of them, and he would still have a better OPS than Nick Castellanos. That's how good Bohm is, or is that how bad Casty is? I don't know. That is to be determined as the season moves on. For myself, Keith, my co-host, Chris, JV, we appreciate you joining us for the evening. You can catch us. Where can they catch us, dude? You do all that
Yeah,
stuff.
catch us on Facebook under my profile, Chris Life. It'll be on CEV Network Facebook page as well as the Philly Podcast page. It's on the Philly Podcast Twitter, and then it's on the Council of Dads YouTube page, and then it'll be back. It'll be downloaded again, and then we'll break up different clips of favorite moments. We didn't really get into any heated discussion tonight, like me and you usually do, which is very disappointing.
No, and I'll
Because you kind of agreed with me, and I was like,
well, truthfully,
other than the Castellanos thing, we got it out earlier today. We can't do that no more. When the days we have podcasts, we can't talk.
Well, the truth, I think the truth of the matter is I know the truth and you know the truth. Like where we're at right now in the season and where we're at in the position with the player he is, we're kind of like in a rock and a hard place. So neither one of us can really take up arms here.
Hold on. This is Nick Castellanos right now.
This is where we're going to stay right here at this. Before we leave off, we're going to
hold on.
From what I hear, you couldn't hit water if you fell out of a fucking boat.
Nikki is already up, down in the count 0-1. Oh, he has a hit. Nikki has a hit. It's a single.
I think we just need to start bashing every batter on the podcast because they seem to do well when we do it.
Well, he's down to 7.
Trash on Harper, and he goes 3 home runs for the night.
He listen to Castellanos. I'm sorry, they moved Castellanos to 7. But here's my thing. Here's where I don't understand. You got Stott, who's batting 221. Why isn't he above Castellanos?
Because
You wanna
Stott
leave-
for the last
you want-
12 games has been tanking it. He's got a lower batting average than Castellanos over the last 10, 12 games.
I will disagree with you on that. Well, I'll look those stats up.
Please do.
That's got to be impossible. It's physically impossible.
I don't know.
You might be right, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Um,
To all the people in Parkwood, be wary of the guy with the guitar making threats. He might play a song or two and then hit you with it.
The honky tonk man's walking around Parkwood.
Pulling it up right now. Last 10 games. Splits. He's a 176 batting average.
And Castellanos is like 038.
I think he's a 173. I think Price is Right rules. I lost.
Just got an alert. There's a guy walking around Mayfair with a 2x4 yelling, "Oh!"
Oh, nobody gets that.
And Jeff Jarrett and the honky tonk man are walking around Parkwood.
Yeah.
Got Bryson already. Bryson just took 4 straight walk.
Good eye. Good eye.
All right, gentlemen. I appreciate everyone who has stayed on with us. And for, again, second time around, myself and my co-host, we appreciate you joining us. Have a great night.
Have a good night.
Make sure you check us out on Spotify as well.